try and put a bit of context on who Andreas is for anyone who might not know. Andreas Karayan, born in 1943 in Nicosia, Cyprus, is a painter, writer, and medical doctor. After completing his medical studies at the University of Athens, graduating in 1967, he moved to London to study psychiatry. There, he experienced a double coming out, as an artist and as a gay man, and decided to leave medicine behind. Instead, he followed his passion for art, studying at the Central School of Art. Those were the wonderful times of the Flower Power movement and the Gay Revolution Front, as he recalls. Coming from a conservative background, this meant a great opportunity for me. In London, Karayan met his first gay love, Helmut, a young German teacher. He followed him to Stuttgart and enrolled at the Academy of Fine Arts there. After a few years, he returned to Cyprus, where he openly advocated for gay rights. His publications, as well as his exhibitions, sparked controversy. In the Republic of Cyprus, male homosexuality was punishable by law and was only decriminalized in 1998. At the time of the fall of the Berlin Wall, Karayan worked as a culture journalist for Cypriot media in Germany, in Berlin, the city of his dreams. Together with Zypern, his great romance from East Berlin, he explored Berlin's gay nightlife, mainly in the eastern part of the city, which he found more pleasant than its western counterpart. In 1990, he met gallerist Friedrich Rothe, and in his renowned gallery at Savigny-Platz, 2 exhibitions of Karayan's works were held, in 1990 and 1995, which caused quite a stir in the gay art scene of the time. His artistic career in Germany had begun even earlier. In 1981, his works were included in the exhibition Contemporary Art from Cyprus at the Center for Art Exhibitions of the GDR. Today, Karayan is considered one of Cyprus's most important artists. His works are part of significant state and private collections worldwide and have been exhibited internationally. He represented Cyprus at the Venice Biennale in 2001 and the Cairo Biennale in 2006. He has also been successful as an author, with many of his novels winning awards. In 2023, he completed a multi-volume fictional autobiography, His Legacy for Future Generations. I'm handing over to Andreas now, who will be talking of his experience interviewing Heiner Karol, the director of Coming Out, back in the day.
My friends, hello and goodbye. So, why I'm here? Because this beautiful film that you're going to watch tonight, I was very lucky to watch the premiere, and in the lovely Kino Internazionale cinema in East Berlin. I was very lucky to live at that time in East Berlin, because when the wall fell, I saw a very beautiful young East German looking at me, and that was love on the first sight. So I spent there for 5 years, and I was lucky to see all these changes that happened. Now, this film, it was shown in the 40th Berlin Film Festival and won the Silver Bear. At that time, homosexuality, it was widely accepted socially. So, number of films were dominating the screen. Some of these films were not anymore like before, representing the gay man as something special, as a stain, as a criminal. But now they try to find the gay as a human being. with his problems, with his, I'm talking about Gay because at that time it was the gay revolution time. We didn't have these radically things that we have now, very modern things anyway for me. So it was a time that it was just a time of very many variations on the theme. And one of these variations was coming out. It was the first film from DDR. DDR is East Germany, who came out, and the last film from DEFA, because when the war opened, it finished. There was no East Berlin anymore. Coming out speaks of the courageous and painful act of openly acknowledging one's homosexuality, confronting it responsibly, and finding one's own way of life.
Can everybody hear? Can everybody hear what's
Happening? Can everybody hear Andreas well enough?
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You can hear it?
Yeah.
Yes. Now we stop. Sorry. So, this tender film, despite some sentimentality and slightly tragic undertone, tells the story of Philip Klarman, very handsome and gorgeous boy, a young teacher in East Berlin who struggles with his sexual identity. Outwardly, he conforms to social expectations. He has a relationship with a fellow teacher, Tanya. They bump actually together like this, boom, we will see it at the beginning. But an encounter with Matthias, a confident and self-assured gay man, awakens his suppressed desires and compels him to confront the double life he has been leading. Philip's personal journey from denial and guilt to self-acceptance is paralleled by his encounters with Berlin's hidden gay subculture, portrayed with unprecedented authenticity. We have to say now that in DDR, that is in the East Germany, homosexuality was decriminalized earlier than in West Germany. In 1968, the Nazi paragraph 175 was abolished. But it was, although the socialism tried to give a very humane face to homosexuality, at the same time, it was not widely socially accepted. And the Stasi, the secret police, was always somehow chasing the gays, but not openly. The facade was good, but behind the facade, there were many troubles. So, I was lucky actually to be at that time, because in East Berlin, we could go to the gay bars in East Berlin were friendlier. You will see it here, This is very nice, the film that it shows the secret life of gay people in East Berlin. This was the last film made in DDR at the DEFA Balbersberg studios of East Germany. And its premiere was at the 9th of November 1989, the night the wall fell down. So, at that time, as you will see in the film, the skinheads started to attacking gays and foreigners. So I was advised to carry with me an umbrella as a weapon to protect myself. But everybody told me that I looked like a German. Well, I don't know. So I was saved. So, Coming Out is more than a film about homosexuality. It's a document of a society on the edge of transformation. Its timing, tone, and courage make it a rare intersection of personal and historical coming out, a declaration of identity, both individual and collective. I met Cairo He was very charming. And I had a short interview with him. I must tell you that somehow I was doing two revolutions big in Berlin. The one revolution was me opening, coming out, you know, and with my shows I was involved in the Gay Liberation Front and everything. And at the same time, I was sending to Cyprus all these interviews and all these somehow social changes that was coming in East Berlin. So I was doing the two revolutions, one for myself in Germany and one for myself in Cyprus. And I was honored by the Jules Museum, the famous museum in Berlin. They hung a painting of mine in order to show their appreciation for what I have done at the time of I was in Germany. I had two shows. West Germany's law abolished in 1994, and my show was 1990 and 1995. So it was in between this situation. So, are you tired? So what I want now to do is a short conversation. It was a longer conversation, but I made it a little bit shorter with the director. Question: I would like to start with something, and this is very essential that you know. Something I noticed in the promotional material for your film, shown at the Film Center in the East Germany pavilion. There is a large color photograph next to the title that shows the young teacher kissing his wife. I find it rather misleading, since the film is actually about a homosexual relationship, something not at all suggested by the advertisement. You can see that even the film, you know, was advertised, and it was somehow covered the context of the answer. You're absolutely right. I tried several times to prevent that misunderstanding. But as you can imagine, it's still quite difficult to change certain people's way of thinking. What inspired you to make this film? I wanted to speak about myself. It's the film I had wanted to make for a very long time. So, would you say it is autobiographical? No, not exactly. I wanted to include elements of my own experience, yes, but I don't want to be known as a homosexual director who makes homosexual films. Not at all. My work is varied, and this film is just one part of it. And to be more precise, I conducted many interviews to ensure that what I portray is true to life. I can understand this very well, because they call me as a pioneer in queer art in Cyprus. And I hate these words because, you know, the gay liberation fought against words like this, queer, and so on and so forth. So I could understand this point of his, but I see that this is a new understanding of the gay liberation, of the social liberation. Don't say anything, I'll kill you.
No, I mean, I'm allowed to. I will quickly interject just to say, in the same vein of what you said earlier, at the time it was a gay liberation, but of course the movements have changed and grown in different directions. So, in support of the word queer and the reclaiming of it.
It's you that you made me understand actually the meaning of the new somehow term. Anyway, the film explores a deep sense of psychological and emotional repression. Where does that come from? Primarily from social repression. Even though in East Germany there is no law condemning homosexuality, unlike in your country, prejudice still very much exists. Naturally, with the fall of the wall, things are changing rapidly. Not long ago, the age of consent for homosexual relations was made exactly the same as for heterosexual ones. still coming out and accepting one's homosexuality remains a deeply personal matter. Many people who experience this kind of inner repression, shaped by social pressure, are afraid to do so. They end up living double lives, building their homosexual identity, hiding their homosexual identity and suppressing their emotions and sexuality, which happens here too very often. This is what I would tell you, that this film, although it was made in the 1989, it is so modern and so describes exactly the feelings of being homosexual. But I must tell you something else, which I told to my friend Diego, whom I love very much. At that time, it was different. It was not this today grindle, what you call it, grindle, and this quick sex in internet and everything. Everything has some kind of magic, but at the same time, it was revolutionary. I mean, gay front, it was not just accept homosexuality, it was to turn everything upside down. And because many people, we were not able to do this, it was created a CHE, Campaign for Homosexual Equality, which it was more tea and sympathy. And somehow I was more in the gay front, liberation front at that time. Not now anymore, you know. The two protagonists you choose for the film are very handsome young men. Was that intentional, to make them more appealing to the audience? I felt these two were exactly what I was looking for. Besides, the story of the film is perhaps the story I would have liked to live myself, but haven't. And somehow, it's a story that I lived too, because I was married for 15 years with a wonderful woman. I never regretted this. And then I fell in love with a German boy. So somehow this film has things that has common with my story too. And it was just like this. We just met in a gay bar at that time, and I was looking like this, and then I saw these blue, beautiful eyes looking at me, and I said, "Oh God, my God, what is this?" And then, you know, somehow this starts, and this is exactly how the film starts, which is, for me, touching a lot. So, in a way, it's a projection of your own desire. That's why the encounter between the two young men feels so tender. What I wanted to show, that's very essential, is that a homosexual relationship is not something shameful or sordid. It can be just as tender and beautiful as a heterosexual one, with the same joys and difficulties. Many people who saw the film came up to me afterwards to congratulate me, saying that the film held them free from their own prejudices about homosexuality. How did it feel to bury yourself artistically before the public by revealing your own truth? It was very difficult, but it was worth it. And how did the audience respond? Very positively. Even today, the two actors still receive flowers from admirers, and the film screening at the festival was a great success. It's worth noting that the film is German premiere coincided with the opening of the war. I was a bit disappointed that the ending gave a somehow tragic feeling. You know, I don't make American movies. In any case, the ending is left open. By recognizing his homosexual self, the teacher will find his own path, however difficult it may be. Rainer Caro died 1997 at the age of 67. Thank you so much for hearing me. Now enjoy.